Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Monster Hunter video. And in today's video, something a little bit different. Monster Hunter news. As you all know, I cover Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and don't worry, that's not going to stop. I've got a video going up for you on Friday, which will take a look at this month's DLC, and next week I've got more tutorials coming your way, but I also want this channel to be your source of all things Monster Hunter. And that, my friends, includes news. So, today's video is going to be a roundup of a couple of Monster Hunter related topics. Do beware though, while I wouldn't try and trick you guys, today is April 1st. In other words, April Fool's Day. So make sure you have your defense up large and don't believe anything you hear, see or read online today. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get to the news. There are three main things I want to talk about. First up, this. This right here is a post on Capcom's Japan site, announcing an upcoming Monster Hunter event called Monster Hunter Hunters Gathering 2015. Primarily, it's a chance to meet new hunters, play the game together in person, and take part in the event itself, where there will be celebrities, fans, and exclusive goods that can only be obtained from the event. Not gonna lie, I'm a bit jealous. I'd love to be in Japan for this, but alas, it's not gonna happen. However, the reason I bring this up is because, given Capcom's track record with these types of major events, and considering that they haven't announced a new Monster Hunter title in Japan recently, then it wouldn't be outside the realms of possibility that they'd use this event as a vehicle to announce a new Monster Hunter game. Plus, this event takes place on May 31st and E3 is then only around the corner. Now, for those of you in the US and Europe, before you get too excited, or alternatively before you start thinking, but wait, I've only just started getting into Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, don't worry. If anything is announced, it'll be a while before it's released, and it'll be even longer before it makes its way over to the West, if at all. It's most likely a new Monster Hunter Frontier. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Frontier, it's primarily a PC-based Monster Hunter that runs under a subscription service and is constantly being updated with new packs and expansions that include new monsters, weapons and armour. Most recently, they introduced these, known as Tonfas. They are a melee weapon that effectively allow you to punch a monster. But, weapons and punching monsters aside, the reason I believe this to be the case is that recently there has been a rumour online that said Monster Hunter Frontier 2 was in development, and it is said to be running on Unreal Engine 4. It's supposedly being developed by Capcom Korea, who were recently hiring for a new Monster Hunter title, and it's tentatively slated for a 2016 release. Initially in Japan, but with the potential for additional regions to be added at a later date. The most exciting thing about that, however, and something that Monster Hunter veterans will like, is that it is supposedly also in development for PS4, as well as PC. So while most of the recent titles have been exclusively for Nintendo platforms, this could be a welcome shift. There's also that Monster Hunter Online title currently in beta in China, however, based on announcements thus far, that looks set to remain in China, seeing as it was developed by Tencent Games. But you could consider that a test by Capcom going into Frontier 2. Anyway, that aside, while that looks like the most likely thing they'd announce at a Japan-only event, there is one other thing I do want to bring up. This surfaced late last night, going into today, and as stated, today is April 1st, so I would honestly take this with a pinch of salt as it's most likely a troll to play with our emotions. But, take a look at this. This is effectively an announcement of an upcoming console HD re-release of Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate for Wii U. If you cast your mind back, you'll remember that Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate came out for both Wii U and 3DS. So, a console version of this title isn't the craziest thing you would have heard. Also, the HD version logo, underneath the main logo, is something we have seen before. And the most important thing to note is that Capcom have, for a long time, been trying to properly break into the West with Monster Hunter. And while we, as die-hard Monster Hunter fans, do love the series no matter what, for the wider audience it has always been quite difficult to get into. However, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate has been a huge success over here, so the sales and the way the game has been received could well lead to something like this. I know I for one would love that. The game looks amazing, and with all the awesome monsters and the armour sets, it'd be nice to see them on a big screen. But until we hear something more about this on a date that isn't April the 1st, don't go getting your hopes up. And then lastly, the only other thing that I want to bring up is that today, April 1st, there is actually a Nintendo Direct. That's not an April Fool's, it's genuinely happening. Now this could be completely and utterly unrelated to Monster Hunter, but they will be talking about Wii U and 3DS titles, so it may be worth tuning in anyway in the event that something Monster Hunter related is discussed. Maybe it'll be something as small as just showing us April DLC ahead of Friday. Maybe there'll be something more, or maybe there'll be nothing at all. Either way, if you're in the UK, it's at 11 PM tonight. If you're in Europe, that's midnight, and in the US, that's 3 PM Pacific. So, with all of that said and done, that brings me to the end of my Monster Hunter news video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and as always if you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to become part of the Arekkz Gaming Nation. And let me know in the comments down below what you think we're most likely going to see announced at the Monster Hunter event, and let me know if you'd like to see Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate on Wii U. Thanks again for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.